Hi, welcome all. I am Professor Ushali Bhandaskar, lecturer at Karmavir Bhaurao Patil College, Vashi, Navi Mumbai. In this video, I am going to show you practical demonstration on installation of RHEL 6.9 in VMware Workstation 15.5 Pro and creating repository. So, let's begin with the session. In this, first we are going to discuss what topic we are going to demonstrate in this whole video. So first we are going to create new virtual machine. In this, second point is I am going to show you how to select installation image file, that is your ISO file. Third, we are going to make hardware configuration. Fourth, in creating repository, we are going to study what primary preparation we have to do for creating repository. Fifth point is what packages are required to create a repository. Sixth is how to create a repository using specific command and how we can solve the dependencies by using yum command with this repository. These all points are going to be get covered in this whole video. So let's begin with the session. In this whole session, we are going to switch to a platform of virtual machine, and in that I am going to install our Red Hat Enterprise Linux 6.9. This is the main window of your VMware workstation. There we have an option create a new virtual machines. So we have to simply click on this create new virtual machine. Then here we are getting two options, typical and custom. So out of this we have to use typical workstation option. So click on the next button. Then here it will ask you from where you have to install this new operating system within your system. So two options are there. If you have a CD, so it will ask you to install it from the installer disk, and second option is if you have ISO file of the same in your system, then we have to use that one. So select that, browse your file and then click on next. Then here it will ask you for information, personalized information in Linux. So put the username. Suppose here I am writing the username is Urushali. Then here in this full name you can write down the full name, that is first and last name. Then username, that will be help you to make an installation in your Linux operating system as a local user. Then give the password here. Then give confirm password. Now whatever password we will be given here, that will be applied for Ushali user as well as for root user in your system. Then click on next. Now it will ask you what virtual machine name you wanted to give. So here the virtual machine name you can change as per your choice. Then we have location inside in your system where you have to keep this Red Hat file, so you can change location also. This is the default location. Then we are clicking on next button. Then here this is the main thing we have that are help us to ask specify the disk capacity. Now maximum size is always 20 GB and we have to recommended size, we have to use recommended size only, that is 20 GB. You cannot use less than that or more than that. If you wanted to increase it, you can increase it, but 20 GB is sufficient for Linux operating system. Now here we have two options. You wanted to define this virtual disk as a single file or virtual disk into multiple files. Okay, so we have to use this split virtual disk into multiple files. Okay, now this is the most important task you have. Never use the single file, always use the multiple file, because splitting the disk into multiple will help you in your virtual machines to move from one to another disk and also help you to give the nice performance. Okay, then we are clicking on next button. Now this is the important we have here. We having all the hardware information. Now we have to go in the customized hardware and we have to make few changes into this. Now what the changes here, the memory is given 2 GB, we have to select it 4 GB. Okay, then processor, one processor we will use, but here as we are using virtual machine, so here we have to use virtualization engine as an option. So out of that, here first option should be select, that is virtualize Intel VTX. Okay, so that on virtual platform you can easily install it. Okay, now just check USB controller is present or not in your VSB. Sound card is there, yes. Printer is also there and display is also there. Okay, now after getting this all, simply close this and go to finish. So after you clicking on finish button, here installation will be started. So this is the Red Hat installation window we'll have in front of us. So as the installation are getting started, we are getting a messages on our screen that how the images is going to be get unpacked within your system and how the installation will be going on smoothly. So these all our messages are keeping on our system. This is all called as bootloader, bootstrapping. Okay, now it dictating in hardware, waiting for an hardware initialization with your system. Whatever hardware we have attached, it will help you to find out that all. Now it will move to an installation part. So it is finding out your storage devices where this all will be going to be get installed within your system. So here, if you are doing the installation in virtual machine, it will not ask you to change any kinds of device storage. Whatever will be the available storage devices are there, in that it will make an installation. Okay, and here when we are installing this in the virtual machine, here not all the packages will get installed, only few packages are get installed, and depending on that all the dependencies would be there. Based on that also get installed within your system. Okay, now here the packages installation has started. So here it will show you a window on your screen that how the installation will be moving further. Total we have more than 3000 packages in your Red Hat Enterprise Linux, but here in this virtual machine installation it will install only default packages, not all the packages. Okay, so look here, 961 packages are going to be get installed in your system right now. In this installation means remaining, if you want to install in your system, you have to use a repository. Okay, so by using a repository we can easily install that all packages which we require. Here the default package, and this is the login screen will be appear in front of you. Now here I am selecting a other. Now in other my username is root, and the password which we given in the personal information, same password we have to use for the login of the root user. So here this is my enterprise Red Hat Linux desktop. So here we have done with the installation of this Red Hat Enterprise Linux 6.9 in virtual machine. Thank you so much. Now we will start with second topic in the same video session, that is creating repository. Now when we wanted to create a repository in standalone system, we need to make use of installation DVD which we used while making installation of operating system. Here in this virtual machine, I did the installation of operating system by using ISO image. Now here, when we are doing this practical, we have to make sure that same ISO file must be connected with your system so that you can easily create repository in your system. So what primary configuration you have to do in your virtual machine workstation? Here at the top bar we have option VM. Just go to this VM option. Inside this we have second option, removable devices. Then in this you have to connect it. Okay, suppose here if you are not able to connect, then in the same menu go in the setting option, click on the setting, then hardware setting box will get opened. In this we have fourth option, CD DVD. Simply click on this. When you are doing this task first time, this is always deselected form, and here in the connection it is always use physical drive. Now what do you mean by physical drive? When you have DVD with you and by using that DVD you wanted to make the repository, then here you have to select it. Okay, but in this we are using ISO image to make the installation of this Red Hat Enterprise Linux 6.9. So in this connection I am going to select use ISO image file. Simply browse the ISO image file wherever you saved that in your system, and here please select the checkbox connected and click on OK. Then after doing this setting, here on your desktop this RHEL 6.9 server x86_64 icon will be displayed. Now by using this DVD we can easily create repository in our system. So to create a repository, here I am open the terminal window on the desktop. Here, as this is the DVD I have, this DVD is also defined on the media directory which is there in your root directory. So to switch to this, you have to simply give command on your terminal window is cd/media and then press enter. Now give ls command and check is your DVD is defined in this media directory or not. So as we connected that DVD using ISO image, it is displayed in your media folder also. Okay, now we'll switch to this RHEL 6.9 DVD folder. So we will give the command cd and we'll simply type RHEL. Now we'll not type that 6.9 server x86_64. Here I am simply going to press tab from my keyboard. So automatic completion feature is there in our terminal window. So by pressing a tab, it will automatically select the name of DVD over here. Okay, now I am simply pressing an enter. Then I am switching into my RHEL DVD folder. Now I will check is my all the data of this RHEL 6.9 is there or not by giving ls command. So I am giving ls command here and pressing enter. So it display list of all files which are enclosed in this RHEL 6.9 server. Now out of those all files I have to copy two files over there. One is packages file, another one is rpm-gpg-key-redhat-release. This two file I have to copy in my system to create a repository. Okay, now to copy this two file, first I have to select a destination. Now destination I'll create right now over here where I will copy this all. Okay, so I'm using mkdir command to create a directory under root directory with the name as repo. Now I am pressing enter. This directory will be created successfully. Next to this, I am going to copy this packages and red hat -gpg key red hat release this file in my repo directory. So to copy, we'll give the command cp space -rvf. This is the option which help me to copy both the file in one single command. Then I'm writing first name of the file, that is packages, and the second file is rpm-gpg key red hat release. Now press enter. And we have to give the destination directory where I have to copy it. In previous command, here we forget it to give the destination directory. So the command is okay. There is no any change. Only at the end we have to give a destination directory where I wanted to copy this all files. So I am simply putting this all command and pressing an enter. So now all the file will get copy here. So here all file will get copied from the packages folder to my repo directory. Once this all copying task is completed, then we will move to next command. So please wait for few times to complete this copying instructions. So we will discuss in between this that why there is need to make a copy of this all files and why there is need to create a repository. The main reason behind this to create a repository is when we are making an installation in this same video, there only 961 packages get installed in our system. Okay, now in your Red Hat, according to a version, there we have around 3000 to 4000 packages. But when we did the installation, only 961 packages are installed. When you want to install remaining packages in your system, then here we need to make use of this repository over there that help us to install all the packages. Now you might have a question that if I am having a DVD, if I am having all the packages, I can easily install it. Why there is need to create this repository? First reason behind this is when you are installing any package, in that case, the most important thing is it is always asking for a dependencies. Means to install a package A, package B required. To install a package B, package C required. That is called dependencies. To solve this all dependencies issue, we are making use of yum command. Yum is also called as meta handler. So here in this, what we are going to do with this yum command, when you want to install a package and you want to solve all the dependencies issue, we need to make use of repository. So from that created repository, this will help you to install all the packages with their all dependencies in your system. That's why there is need to create a repository. It will take a time to copy all the files. Release, this file also copied successfully. Now we wanted to create repository in our system. To create a repository, we need create repo package, which must be installed in your system. So to install this package, first we will move in the repo directory. Inside that, we'll move packages folder. Then we'll give the command on terminal window rpm-ivh to install, and the package name is create repo and asterisk, because we are not aware about what version of this create repo is right now available. So press enter. Now see, look here, we are getting an error that is failed dependencies. So here I am going to tell you that when you want to install this create repo, it is always depend on Python delta rpm, and this Python delta rpm is depending upon delta rpm package. So to install this create repo, you need to first install delta rpm, then Python delta rpm, then create repo, so that no dependencies issue will occur. So I'll give the command rpm-ivh space delta rpm and asterisk. Then press enter. Now here this delta rpm get installed successfully in your system. Then now we will move to next package to solve this dependency issue. Name of the package is Python -delta rpm and will give asterisk over here. Then press enter. Now this Python delta rpm will get installed successfully. And here at the end we will give the first command again, that is rpm -ivh space create repo. So I will simply type the command over here, rpm-ivh space create repo, and then press enter. Now look, your create repo package successfully get installed. Now to create a repository we need to make use of command is create repo --database. Now in which folder you wanted to create a repo? You wanted to create a repository for the folder repo. Inside that we have a folder packages. For this packages folder we wanted to create a repository. So we are writing target packages /repo/packages. Now press enter. Here it will try to create a repository. So look here, it is showing total 3854 packages are there, and out of this 3854 in default installation only 961 packages get installed. So out of the remaining packages, if you want to install anything, then we are making use of this repository. It will take 5 to 10 minutes to create a repository in your system. Wait for a few times so that this repository will create successfully. It is working with 3854 packages, so it will take few times to complete this task. Okay, so look here, as we get back to terminal window, it means a repository created successfully. Now for this repository, we have to add this repository into its configuration file. So to add this repository or to create a repository configuration file, we need to give the command vi inside a folder /etc/yum.repos.d/. Now next to this, we will give name to the repository file. For example, here I am creating repository with the name as example.repo. So here this name can be given anything, but the extension must be repo, because this is a repository file we have. So what is the path? /etc/yum.repos.d/ give the name to your repository, dot extension is repo, repo. Then press enter. This file will get open in front of you. Press I to take the file in insert mode. Now add the data for this file. So first we will add identifier, which is always enclosed in the square bracket. Name of your repository and name of the identifier must be always same. Only in this identifier there is no need to write down an extension. Then next is name is equal to, you can give any name that what you want to give. So here I am saying my sample repository. Then next is base URL. Base URL is most important parameter we have. In this we have to write down a value where you are saving all the packages. So when you wanted to install packages using repository, which path has to take place, that will be defined by this base URL. Now we copy all the packages file in the folder repo. So we will write down the path of that file. So syntax to write down path of the file is file : /, this 2 slashes of URL and third slashes of your root directory in which your repo folder is created, and inside that you have packages folder. Next is you have enabled. Enabled is equal to, you have to give the value either 1 or 0. Means, do you want to enable this direct repository or you want to disable it always? For that reason we have this enabled. So if you want to always enable it, give value as a 1. Next is we have gpg check is equal to, again for gpg check also we have value is 1 or 0. Means if you wanted to check the gpg key, then put the value 1. If you want to ignore the gpg check, then give the value 0. This gpg check always carried by using next parameter name as gpg key. Gpg key is the file name where the key is present. So if you remember, when we are making a copy of the file packages, at the same time we also copy one more file with the name rpm-gpg-key-redhat-release. That file is your key file. So we have to give the path of that file. Again the syntax is same, file, / is there for URL, third slash is of root directory, then repo in bracket rpm / then give the file name rpm-gpg-key-redhat-release. Okay. Now save this all by pressing escape:\wq and get back to your terminal window. Then if you wanted to get all the information of created repository, then give the command yum space repo list. This will give you all the information about the repository that created in your system. So look here, in this repository we created example as a repo, and my repository name is my sample repository. Now we will try to install one package. First we will check is it there or not. So I am giving a command rpm -qa pipe grep nfs. I am checking is this nfs is already installed or not. So look, nfs is not yet installed in my system. So now what I am doing, I'll give the command yum to install this nfs in my system. So I'm giving yum space install space nfs and pressing enter. So in this base URL we did a spelling mistakes. Here the name of packages folder is returned in the wrong way. That's why it is not showing us. So we'll again give the command yum space repo list, and now look here, the status is defining example repository is created with the repo name as my sample repository, and the status is total 3854 packages are there. Okay, in previous we make a mistake in the spelling of that packages folder. So here in status 0 is written. So got it? While giving a name, please make sure that it must be perfect. So now I'm trying to install my package. So I'm giving a command yum space install space nfs, and then I'm pressing enter. So look here, it is trying to get installed in my system. So here this is get installation started for your nfs. Now look here, it is processing on dependencies, and we used yum command, that is your meta package handler. So look, this is your actual nfs packages, and this all are we have dependencies. So here total 23 packages will get installed one by one in your system. So it is asking us, is this okay? If you are okay with this, then say yes. If you are not okay with this, then simply type N. So as I want to install this all, I am pressing Y and I am saying yes. Then press enter. Now it will downloading the packages. Now it will check the key by rpm-gpg, that folder. So I am saying yes. Again it is importing the gpg key and checking it. So here my gpg check is doing successfully, and now the installation is begins. So here look, it is showing with the status bar, out of 23 one package installation is completed. Now one by one it will install all the 23 package. If same task you are doing with rpm command, then this cannot happen successfully. Means to install that nfs using rpm, first you have to install this all 23 packages one by one in your system. But what we did here, using a repository, using yum, we solve the dependencies automatically without installing any package separately. So here we are completed with this repository. So hence further, whenever I wanted to install any of the packages which is other than that 961, then thank you for watching this video. Please like, share, comment and subscribe the video.